Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are painting this beautiful landscape. First apply a coat of water and then apply a diluted mixture of blue to show the sky. And then for the land region, I'm using a very diluted mix of yellow on the left and the right. And in some places, I include a bit of green in order to identify the land. And then for the river, I add a little bit of reflections with green and blue here and there, but mostly I leave it blank, that is white. And then we are going to work on the trees. In order to work on the trees, take different mixtures of yellow and green. Initially, I take a mixture that is mostly yellow and a little bit of green, and just make your brush strokes in different angles so that it looks like leaf. See to that your brush is not always in the same direction, and as you go you can increase the amount of green in your paint mixture. Now I'm going to add an even more intense layer of green towards the edges, and now this will give the texture of the tree, and you can also avoid the flat effect of trees if you use a single color. Now for the leaf and the trees in the background, we do the same, but we use a much diluted mixture because everything that is away is not so bright and clear. And we use more of blue in order to denote the distance. Now I'm working on the land areas which is really far. So I apply a base coat of green everywhere, and then I do the same on all the other land surfaces that are visible. And I add one more layer of green as I thought that it is a little dull, and I'm working on the background landmass. And similarly, in order to show the bushes and the distant mass, I'm just using different shades of blue, green and yellow, and I am just making few dots here and there so that it starts looking like a mass. See to that you leave a few white spaces because that is the only thing that is going to give a natural look to your plant and plants in the distance. Otherwise it will start looking very flat. And towards the edges, in order to show the depth, I'm using a much darker color. You can use a mixture with more amount of blue in it, or you can also go and start using a bit of Payne's grey. Now for the nearby grasses which are more clear, just make an upward stroke with your brush and make sure again you use different shades of yellow. It is always the color differences, that is the various shades that we use, gives the depth and makes it look more natural. Now we are going to start working on the reflection and the area that is close to the river. So generally you have a little bit of mud there, so I have used a different shades of brown and a bit of yellow as well. And then for the reflections of the tree, I use a bit of green, and we will also have reflections from the sky, so I also use a blue. Make sure that you leave the middle part more white because that will give you the illusion of reflection. And for the perception, you always have the farther areas much darker and the nearer areas are looking bright and open. That is why I've used more of Payne's grey towards the back, and I've kept it with much light colors like green, blue and leaving white spaces. Then you can go on and add a bit of texture wherever you feel like so that it looks more complete. Add the branches and make sure that you do not use a single shade of brown because the bark of the tree is never a single color. Do the same for all the trees and just take a step back and look. Wherever you feel a little bit of depth is needed, go ahead and make those regions darker. The area near the land is going to be much darker because of the higher reflections there and also from the ground beneath the water. And then I just draw a bit of birds here and there. Use a gel pen, either a white or whichever color you feel, to add a little bit of flowers here and there. Now this is almost done, so I thought a bit of white gel pen can add a good effect to it. So go ahead and add a bit of whites here and there, and you can even use white to show the ripples on the water or the reflections on the water. You can add it as you wish, more or less. and along the little darker regions when you give white it gives more effect. Finally, sign your piece, and this is the completion of the video. Thanks for watching.